Hey, what's going on, people? Oh my god, I missed you guys. So I had to deal with a whole lot of personal stuff, but I'm back like I never left. Okay, and I had to get that garlic in bulk. Get your garlic in bulk. Use it for everything. Everything. All right, so I'm here today with a fire Rasta pasta recipe. Okay? Let's go. I'm gonna do a story time today though. Just pay attention to the screen. I wrote everything down for you. You could just watch. All right? Watch and listen. Story time, guys. I gotta let you know me a little bit. Because, I have a pretty interesting story. And some of the things I probably shouldn't say, but what the fuck? It's my story. Say what I want. So, in honor of rest in peace to my pops week, I miss him so much. So, I'm gonna give it a little story time that has to deal with, a little background about our family. Okay, so, this is how you go from the courts to the kitchen right here. Because would you guys believe that I started playing basketball when I was 8 years old? Like, that was my life. I lived, eat, slept, dreamt basketball every day, every night. So, living in New York, living in the Bronx, and being upstate in Rockland County and Spring Valley, playing basketball all over the state. It was a lot of fun. I loved it. You couldn't tell me that was not going to be the rest of my life, until one day. Now, let me stop. I probably shouldn't tell this business, but like I said, it's my story. So, we found out that later on down the line, of course, my father impregnated another woman outside of his marriage. And you know what he did? He moved us down to Georgia before we found anything out about it. Yep, sure did. Packed us up, moved us across the freaking world. That's what it felt like, because going from New York to Georgia was a complete change. It was night and day. So yeah, we moved down here. Well, he moved us down here to, try and hide his little cheating scandals, but whatever. It came out the closet as it should, the peace and truth shall set you free. So yeah, I came down to Georgia. Basketball definitely changed. I wasn't being scouted anymore. I wasn't traveling anymore. I was just at this high school where I was like one of 10 black girls. Mind you, there was barely any black girls in the school. And here I am trying to try out for the team. Now, God had other plans. Sorry, my voice is going. God had other plans for me, because not only were the tryouts just so uncomfortable, your girl got injured, okay? But I was already internally injured. I'm just in the middle of the tryouts, and I start limping. I can't feel my legs. And, they're so bougie down here. They had, like, a team nurse, stuff like that, right there on call. So the nurse immediately told me, sorry to break it to you, you have tendonitis in your knees. I'm like, oh, okay, don't know what that is. Had to look that up. So that just kind of like stopped me in my tracks. I was like, you know what? No more basketball, which nobody would believe me. Because like I said, I ate, dreamt, slept basketball, okay? But I was just like, you know what? This is not working out. I'm uncomfortable. I don't feel like myself. No. I want to go back to the Bronx. So, guys, I just stopped playing. I quit, and I already wasn't playing tennis. I left tennis in New York as well. So at this point, I'm just not an athlete anymore. At this point, I'm wearing lip gloss, I'm wearing pink, and I'm putting on heels. I was no longer number 13. I was I was a lady. Okay, so boom. Close that chapter at about, 13, 14. At about 14, close that chapter for a little bit, I was trying to figure out me realistically. So at that time, I'm living in Georgia with my mom and my siblings. Not my father. He was still in New York. He never came like permanently. It was just kind of a back and forth thing. At the time, I didn't know why. I'm a kid. So he's doing the back and forth thing or whatever. And I'm just like, this is weird, you know. The fighting stopped, but now it's just over the phone. So that was definitely weird. As I got older, things got explained. We had our sit downs. And you know, you don't blame anyone. You realize that that's life, right? As you get older, you start to understand more. And especially when you become a parent, you start to understand why your parents did what they did. And you know, you'll never know exactly why, because everyone's situation is different. But just having that understanding, that's enough, okay? Life is too short to hold on to grudges, to hold on to what ifs and all of that. So I don't. I just wake up and I thank God for another day and I keep it pushing, you know. I could sit back on what ifs, because I'd be playing Angel Reese right now. Best believe. What's up? I could still take her 1-on-1. Let's go. Angel? Now, like, basketball was my life, you guys. So I'm just living proof that you can literally rewrite your story, you know. There's so many things you can do in this world. Putting all your eggs in one basket is just not it. You know, of course you want to perfect your craft, all of that, but you can literally find things that you're good at. So, you know, coming down to Georgia, moving to Georgia definitely showed me it's time to explore what else I like about myself, what else I enjoy doing, because playing basketball and playing tennis every day cannot be the only thing, you know. So before I even moved to Georgia, my parents opened up a restaurant in the Bronx, 241st White Plains Road. Ask about it. Tastedelicious is what it was called. Okay, both of my parents are amazing cooks. I'm pretty sure my dad learned most of what he knows from my mother, okay? But I'm sure they were able to teach each other as well. They were both amazing cooks. So the restaurant was a very successful restaurant. I'm not gonna lie, that's why I'm so inspired to this day. It was super successful. It bought us a mini mansion in Georgia. It took care of a lot of families. It started a lot of businesses in the Bronx. Like, my father has handed people a lot of startup capital to open up businesses that they still have to this day, you know. So it is the month that he left me, and even though he's still here in spirit, I just have to let his name live on, because that's a true boss right there. That's a true king right there. You know, he didn't just take care of his family, he took care of other families. And that's exactly what I intend to do with my success. I'm not just going to take care of my family. I plan to take care of a lot of families, a lot of different communities. Like, you know, that's just the goal here. So I feel like I've been talking with story time for a while. This video is super long, guys. I hope you've been paying attention on how to cook this pasta, because it's absolutely amazing. I mean, you can tell it's amazing from the start. If you taste a piece of the chicken by itself, mwah. If you taste a piece of the shrimp by itself, mwah. You know, it's just, I just love myself. My hands work magic. So yeah, make sure you follow every instruction step by step. It's not hard at all. It's not a lot of ingredients, and it's not super expensive. You don't have to use chicken, and you don't have to use shrimp. You can just use vegetables, and you don't have to use both protein. You can just use one. You know, there's ways to get around that. So just make sure you pay attention, especially little steps like saving the pasta water, and, you know, adding a little cheese at the end on top right here. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, because this is a million out of a million. I'm gonna keep raising my numbers, and I'm gonna keep setting that bar high, because y'all can't cook like me. Y'all can't cook like me. I'm trying to show y'all how to cook like me right here, okay? Oh, goodness. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you. Bye.